Wow, hey people. So, we're doing my favorite thing today, which is going to the movie theaters, and we're gonna be watching some really exciting movies today. Honestly, the lineup is pretty iconic, so this one's gonna be for the books. We're gonna start with The Long Walk. I'm like a huge fan of David Johnson, and I am really excited to see this movie for him. I love his performance in Riley. He seems like a generational actor, like he's definitely gonna be like remembered very fondly, and so I'm excited to see this movie on the big screen. I'm also excited to see a Paul Thomas Anderson movie on the big screen. The only other Paul Thomas Anderson movie I've seen, I believe, is Phantom Thread. Yeah, so this is like, hello, like the most exciting lineup of movies I've had in a while. I haven't been to the movies in a while. So yeah, let's go. Okay. I really don't like filming in public, but the movies are over. And that was the craziest combo of movies to watch, because the juxtaposition was crazy. Babe, why was I crying in the first movie and like laughing my ass off in the second? Like, I went from like a devastating, like heartbreaking movie about friendship and brotherhood, and then, okay, this is a bad angle, and then you go to a movie about like revolutionizing, and it's just like it's like a comedy action, which I'll talk more about both when I get home. But I'm literally just walking around now, like I'm going to Target now for whatever reason. Okay, it's giving you can't see me, but girl, I finally made it home, and I'm excited. I'm excited to debrief these two movies, because these two movies were just so big, and like there was so much to talk about. So wow, people, so we're back home and it's the next day, but I took some time to gather my thoughts and sort of like soak in the films, because those were very heavy films, both. Okay, both were so filled with so much emotion and plot, and just so much. There was a lot of world building in both films. Like, both are very like dystopian futures that we're heading into, low-key. So let's talk about it, and I'm gonna tell you what I think. Okay, I watched The Long Walk first, so let's start with that one. First of all, let's talk about the cast, because the cast was so special, obviously, and it relied on a lot of dialogue and a lot of chemistry to work with each other. Like, they individually do such a great job at making their characters believable. What I love about this movie is that the cast is pretty unknown. Like, a lot of these actors are first-time actors, are just very like new up-and-coming actors that haven't been in a lot of things. I know Cooper Hoffman has been in Licorice Pizza, PTA's movie, and David Johnson, I've seen him in other things, of course. But other than that, the rest of the cast is pretty unknown, which I think helps to make their characters seem even more real, because I feel like if they used like a lot of well-known actors, it would have made it not as believable. Each of them are very flawed, of course, and each of them come in to this walk expecting one thing, expecting, obviously to win and to have their wish granted and all these things. But of course, as the walk goes on, it's a lot of self-discovery, a lot of realization of, oh, I've been doing it wrong, or like maybe this wish isn't the thing that's gonna change the world. But I loved David Johnson's character, and I already knew like I was gonna be obsessed with him the minute I saw the trailer. Like, I was like, okay, a very wise character, definitely been through a lot internally and externally as a character, but he comes to this walk prepared, very prepared, the most prepared, obviously, and he's just this very deep and empathetic character, and he's the light of the film, we know that, but it's just the way that he sees people in the world and how he changes Ray's perspective. And it was there's so many beautiful moments with the both of them. They obviously are the heart of this film and make this movie what it is, because their relationship throughout the movie and the way they grow to love each other and respect each other, and grow this bond and this relationship, it wouldn't have been the way it was if they hadn't casted the way they casted. You know what I mean? Like, these actors are perfect. The story, the plot, in of itself is horrifying. It's giving Hunger Games, and it's actually based off of a Stephen King novel, which is interesting, which I should read, Loke. Trying to, like, basically, like, is trying to make America work again, for real. Like, okay, but their whole thing is, like, Mark Hamill is, like, first of all, Mark Hamill has a son, and he's in the walk, and he don't give a fuck about him. He don't gaff about his own kid, which is crazy, mind you. But apparently he has, like, multiple kids. Like, he's a terrible character. We know that. Which is why, spoiler alert, what happens at the end is so worth it. And I love the ending because it was so perfect. It couldn't have ended any other way. But basically Mark Hamill is, like, they take these boys and they walk, like, literally, like, for 5 days straight, like, no break, nothing. And it's really strenuous mentally and obviously physically for the boys. So it's just interesting to see how each one holds up and how far they make it. And really only the toughest survive. Like, we been knew this. Only the toughest survive. But let me talk more about this wish thing, because whoever wins the walk gets to get a wish granted of theirs. Any wish, which is pretty crazy. Like, they said one of the boys that have previously won wished for an elephant. Like, okay, I love elephants too. Like, they're kind, like, they are pretty intelligent and, like, awesome animals. But girl, you wished for an elephant of all things, baby. Peter's wish was it's a rule that 2 people can win the walk. So that, like, and it was a really sweet moment. He was saying that obviously because of Ray and how he wants to win the race with him, or he wants to win the walk with him, and he doesn't want to do it without him. His wish would never work because Pete's wish is detrimental as it is, because it encourages people to keep volunteering for this walk, to keep going on this walk, to keep pursuing this walk, which, like, is Ray's whole point. Like, he wants to stop the walk, he wants to change the world. Pete's wish would have never worked because it would have just kept encouraging boys to volunteer and to go on this walk, because it gave them hope that maybe another person could win with them. So in the end, like, while yeah, like, the intent is good and the motive is good, but overall the wish is only doing more harm. I feel like it is saving a life, like, yeah, but it's still not doing anything to stop this horrific event. If his wish was granted, it would have made the film feel a little bit pointless, because one of them in the end, regardless, has to die, either Pete or Ray, whichever one of them. Because we know Ray and his history with his family and how outspoken his father was, and the way that he died for what he believed in, to give his son a better life, to make sure his son has freedom in his future, it just wouldn't make any sense to not kill Mark Hamill's character in the end, because, you know, that's the only way. Like, obviously that'll spark something, the killing of his character. It'll spark some sort of change as long as you keep it going. I don't know. Of course, like, they ended it there and it's up to the viewer to interpret, but I believe, like, okay, that'll spark some change, some revolution, whatever. Like, Pete pursued Ray's wish because people shouldn't have to die, like, period. Like, it doesn't matter if 2 people make it out alive and they're best friends and they survive the long walk. No one should have to die at all. And I think that's what the point of the end was. Like, to kill Mark Hamill, it means, like, to end it here. Like, the long walk should end, like, period. And, you know, in the movie they were saying, like, Ray was saying, like, this isn't normal. Like, what we're doing isn't normal. Like, the long walk and killing innocent civilians is not normal. Like, this should not be normalized. So yeah, like, in the end, I feel like if Pete made his original wish, it would have contradicted everything Ray believed in, and therefore making his death kind of useless, and everyone else's death, of course. I think Cooper Hoffman did say like it was a love story almost, and I see that because it's just so devastating at the end, because Peter loses like his light and, you know, his best friend, and all he can do is just continue walking, like just keep going like in this darkness and try to find another light to keep to then, you know, give him hope. But he just is so sad, like he just keeps going. Gosh, this was such a touching story, so devastating. Girl, I was crying, snot running down my nose, and all of that. Like, oh my gosh, there were so many gory deaths, but like I'm okay with gore. Like, I don't know, like I watch The Boys. Maybe I watch The Boys, like I'm okay with gore, but this was like on a different level, because especially because like we've connected with all these characters and they die in such gruesome ways. No mercy, none at all, which is like the saddest part. He was just like spewing this like America needs to have more work ethic, and but like it's like, what are these boys even doing that's contributing to work? Like they're literally just walking, and if they don't walk they get murdered. Like it's such a weird concept, but also it's very real. Like, you know, this is some shit the government would pull low-key. Like I'm not gonna act surprised. I'm just so excited to see more from David Johnson, especially because him and Cooper Hoffman are gonna work more together. But David Johnson in general, like I love what he brings to the film. Like every time, in every movie he's in, he brings this very like electric and magnetic charm and skill that you don't see a lot in average actors. Like he's definitely something special. And I'm excited to see more from him. This movie was heartbreaking, very, very sad, but beautiful message, or inspiring message. And yeah, I gave that 4 stars on Letterboxd. Very good movie. Okay, moving on to One Battle After Another. I'm definitely gonna watch many more PTA movies after this, because this is only the second one I've seen. Tiana Taylor's character, Perfidia, I think her name is very complex and very complicated, and I can see how a lot of people don't understand her. But let me just say, she has been through a lot, and she has fought a lot of battles, especially the pregnancy battle. Like that's one of itself. Like the way that she had to hold, you know, she's a victim, let's talk about that, but she's also a very strong woman. So it's interesting to see her in this state, because I feel like a lot of people took it as a way of like she doesn't care and she's running away, but I feel like she was just very hurt and she was recovering, because not only was she like raped, but she also had to carry the rapist's baby full term, 9 months, and then she's dealing with like postpartum and all these things. And I feel like it's pretty unfair. Like they don't give her a lot of redemption area and enough room to explain, and it just feels like her character's left unfinished almost. Now listen, I love strong women. My favorite genre of people is strong women, and that's what this movie has, and it shows that in different ways, which I love. We have Regina Hall, we have Tiana Taylor, we have Chase Infinity, we have Alana Haim, and all these women work in very different ways, but they all are producing the same thing, which is the revolution. It's just sad to see that Tiana, like, she never came back after like the first act. We never saw her again, which I feel like you underused her a little bit. Like there's more that you could have done. Instead of the letter, maybe she could have showed up, or maybe just, I don't know. Like instead of the letter at the end, she could have like shown up and maybe saw her daughter in person, but I don't know. Maybe they're trying to leave room for a sequel, but I don't you know, I'm not much of a sequel person. Like, we could have just left it here, especially because it was a 3-hour movie. Like, you had enough time, babe. The whole jealous trope is a little weird to me. You know, there's nothing worse than a mom that's jealous of her own kids, and there's just nothing worse than seeing a girl mom get jealous of her own daughter. It's weird, and I don't like that trope, and I don't ever want to see that trope in real life because it's just weird. It's not, I don't know, but I guess like that's what the point of movies, like you want to show humanity and you want to show all sides of humanity, so I can't even get mad at it. But I do hate that trope, and I hate that, like, that's what they made her into be. Like, I feel like, I don't know if it was jealousy, I feel like it was more resentment, because, you know, like, the person that gave her that baby is an awful person, and I think that's what she was feeling. She was feeling more resentment towards, I don't know, maybe I'm also seeing it wrong, I don't know, because she obviously doesn't blame Chase Infinity in the end. Like, she actually reaches out to her and apologizes, but in that moment, I think because she was postpartum and because she was still like recovering from everything, like she was holding her anger in the wrong place. I will say PTA definitely has a way of designing his characters to feel like so electric and very like these elaborate characters that are just so unique and kind of like, I like the way that he blocks his characters. He does it in a way where it makes it feel even more animated than it already is. Like, it just feels very like structured and organized, and I do love the way, and it's very like, there was some heist scenes in this movie that was so much fun. I do love a heist, and just all the choices that Paul Thomas Anderson has made in this movie, they're all very smart decisions, and they're all chosen very specifically. And girl, it was made for me. Like, I am the audience, and I enjoyed it because the soundtrack was iconic, the score is beautiful, and everything about this movie just feels very generational. It does feel like timely of the decade. It's all about these different characters from different places just coming together to defeat this evil, to defeat this organization we call the government, and well, they call the Christmas Adventures, which is crazy. I loved Benicio del Toro's Revolution group. Their group was a lot more organized, obviously, than the French 75, and they've probably accomplished a lot more, I will say. So it was really cool to see the way they like all came together, and kind of like, it was almost like a choreography, like how they all like did this thing together, and to move everyone out and to like spread out and to organize. And the nuns are so cool. I actually wanted to see more of the nuns. They are definitely probably one of the coolest parts of the movie, and I want a whole movie on them. I would watch a 3-hour movie just on the nuns and what they do and like their part in the revolution and what they've done. And like, they were just, I don't know, I do love them. They were pretty iconic, pretty cool group. And I feel like a lot of the groups in this movie, like the Christmas Adventurers, obviously the French 75, and the nuns, they all make this movie just feel so electric and so just exciting. And you know, obviously the Christmas Adventurers are weird and terrible, but even like, you can't help but find them ridiculous, because their whole objective and what they're trying to accomplish is just very dark and oppressive. You can't help but laugh because their whole getup is just corny. It's crazy. It's like ridiculous. The way that Perfidia was using her body in acts of the revolution, and the way that Perfidia was kind of being taken advantage of, and it was very uncomfortable. And you know, Sean Penn is very uncomfortable, makes me very uncomfortable throughout the movie. The way that Leo DiCaprio is so useless. The women truly are the heart of this movie, of course. I gave this movie 4.5 on Letterboxd. There's more I'm like missing, but those are the things that were like the most, stayed with me the most. I didn't talk about the soundtrack a lot, but girl, I am listening to Mbamba and Dirty Work and Shut Up and Dance on repeat. Trust, all those songs are on repeat for like the next couple of weeks. I hope you guys cared about what I had to say, enjoyed it at all. Let me know if you did. And yeah, bye.